So we made it, folks. We survived our first season back in the Championship, but it's not over just yet, as we still have a mathematical chance to get over the line and finish in the top half of the table. So let's knuckle down and go for it. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview, this time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' final game of the 2018-2019 Championship season, and we'll talk about that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and smash that subscribe button to get you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, woo, we're going to all here under one roof. Now let's tuck into it and take a look at the match in a bit more detail. It does take place this Saturday, and according to my calculator, that is the 5th of May, just after the old Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. May the 5th be with you, boys and girls, as Rovers go back to Ewood Park with Swansea City, the opponents. They are managed by Graham Potter, that's right, the manager that's been drafted out of Sweden, who's worked his way up, and credit to him for doing so, but unfortunately could not get himself or the boys from Swansea back to the Premier League at the first attempt, as they were relegated last season in 18th spot. The key man for me this weekend will be Ollie McBurney. Scored about 20 odd goals this season. Very huge danger man for Rovers this weekend to keep an eye on. The last time that these two sides actually played against each other at Ewood was a 3-1 victory for Rovers, and that was in January 2015 FA Cup. Over the years, two sides have played each other 40 times. We've won 22 of them. They've won 14, and we've drawn for a piece. So let's take a look at the expected starting 11s from my point of view. But first and foremost, let's take a look at any injuries, any suspensions. Harrison Reed is donezo. He's actually gone back down to Southampton. His loan is over. Ben Gladwin and Dominic Samuel, they're also both out for the season, and hopefully at least one of them should be back next season. I think Gladwin may be on his way out. No recognised suspensions for Rovers, but this is how I think they'll line up. It'll be pretty much as expected, or as it was in the last game against Norwich, as we battled like troopers against the ever-present force that was Norwich, but we come unstuck. So I don't expect any changes in goal, because I think Leutwiler is there to get for Mowbray to have the once-over on. Check him out, see if he's worth the push for another season in the Championship. Bell, Williams, Lenihan and Bennett will make up the back four, and again, it's a sort of observational bit of stuff for the gaffer to check out to see if Williams and Lenihan will be the partnership next season, or will they be contenders for those centre-back roles next season. Rodwell, Travis, same deal for Rodwell, really. Travis, obviously, I think he is the future for our centre-mid. Who's it going to be alongside him? We'll have to wait and see. Dak, Rothwell, Armstrong and Graham up top. The reason I think Graham will start is because he is just one goal shy of Dak, and I'm sure there is a bit of an internal competition to see who comes out as top goal scorer. So they'll be chomping at the bit to try and get him a level, if not overtake Dacky Boy in the final game of the season. The only change I could see is maybe Armstrong drop and Chapman come through, but I expect Chapman on the bench, Berison on the bench. Rothwell's been tremendous so far these past few games, and again, it's more of a just to try and put him through his paces as we wrap up this season. Quick look at those important stats for you. Dacky Boy has 17 goals. Graham Hotness Hills with 16. Mulgrew has 10. Armstrong has 9. Will we see Charlie Mulgrew? Maybe we will see Charlie Mulgrew. Obviously, he is the skipper. Yeah, it would be nice to get him on there, because I'm on the fence now what's going to go on with him next season. As for the discipline, Bennett tops the charts with 10 yellows, Lennon has 9, Evans has 8, and Smallwood, another dubious fella who could be on his way out. Obviously, sentiment and all that kind of stuff goes out the window if we're going to be serious contenders next season. As for the red cards, Williams and Smallwood both have reds. Williams has 2 of them, collector's item. Last 5 fixtures or results for Rovers look like this, obviously coming into this on the back of that 2-1 loss to Norwich. But before that, it was a nice run for us. 4 wins on the spin, beating Bolton, QPR, Nottingham Forest and Derby, all in succession, scoring 2 goals in each. A couple of clean sheets in there as well. So yeah, not too shabby form. And as for the remaining fixtures, well, it's just this one, boys, and it's Sunday the 5th, and it is a early kickoff for you guys, but it's early doors for me over in Pennsylvania. So yeah, we're going to have to get up nice and early for that bad boy. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Swansea's injury hit list. Erwin Mulder, the goalkeeper, is out. Not too sure when he'll be back. Leroy Furr looks to be out for the season. Martin Olsen, obviously ex-Rover, out for the season. No registered suspensions either. As for their lineup, I'm going to go with this. It's pretty much the same side bar one change. Norville between the sticks, Norton, Carters, Vickers, Horn and Roberts at the back four. Grimes and Fulton comes in midfield. McBurney, James, Dyer and Routledge up top. Some experience in there, obviously some pace, some creativity. Of course, we know Matt Grimes. Talk more about Matt Grimes in a little bit. As for the statistics here, McBurney is the main man. 23 goals for him this season. Selina has 8, Roberts has 5, and James has 5. So you eliminate McBurney, and then you starve them for most of their goals. As for the discipline, Van der Horn, only look at this compared to our yellows. Van der Horn's their top man with 6 yellows. Fur has 5, McBurney has 4, Carter Vickers has 4 as well. As for the Reds, Baker Richardson is the only one who has a red card. The last 5 results for Swansea have looked like this. Quick scan, 1 defeat in 5. They drew against Hull City last time out at the Liberty. They did beat Ipswich on the road 1-0. That was on the 22nd of April. All the way back on the 19th of April, they beat Rotherham a 7-goal through a 4-3. They did lose to QPR at Loftus Road on the 13th of April, and they did beat Stoke at the Liberty as well. So they are one of the form teams, boys. We'll look at that table in a second. They have actually got a game to play ahead of this one. They will take on Derby. On Wednesday the 1st of May, depending on when this video goes out. This actually might go out live or hot off the press the 1st of May, depending on if I can get my act together and get this sucker edited. As for this weekend, the final weekend of the championship season, I think, because you never know, obviously, with the Bolton situation, what the fuck is going on over there. So there might be a catch-up game with Brentford. The Bolton Notts Forest game might not go ahead, so who knows? Who knows what's going on? So I pity the Bolton Wanderers fans out there. But anyway, they're supposed to take on Nottingham Forest this week. All these games taking place at the same time. Sheffield Wednesday against QPR, Derby against West Brom, Reading against Birmingham, Brentford against Preston, Ipswich against Leeds, Stoke against Sheffield United, Rotherham against Middlesbrough, Hull City against Bristol City, Wigan against Millwall, Aston Villa against Norwich. So realistically, obviously the game of the weekend is at Ewood, Blackburn Rovers against Swansea. We all know about that. But the majority of the situations have been sorted out. The bottom 3 teams are going down, and that is Rotherham, Ipswich and Bolton. So two teams, one of the teams that made it up last season goes down. Unfortunately, Rotherham, they looked good, they looked decent, and they got some good players in there. Maybe a scavenger hunt or a fire sale maybe at Rotherham. Ajayi, please, Gaffer. But also, what else have we got going on? The playoff situation is the talking point, as Derby, Middlesbrough, and Bristol City, I think, have all got shots at it. So let's take a look at that table anyway, just to clarify that. Obviously, Bristol City and Derby have games in hand on Middlesbrough. I think it's more important for Bristol City to win and hope Derby lose in their game. I think Derby play Swansea, Bristol City take on Millwall. So first and foremost, Bristol City must win if they're going to get into the thick of things. And set up a bit of a shoot-off for those for the last spot. As for the drop, obviously we know Rovers coming to this in 14th spot. Swansea, as it stands, in 11th. And yes, they cannot make the playoffs, so they'll be joining us next season in what will be a quality championship season. Anyway, let's take a look at the top goal scorer. It is Teemu Pukki. He is 3 goals clear of Abraham. Will let Tammy Abraham outshoot him in the final game of the season and close that gap, or maybe even overtake them? And does his goals in the playoffs count to oust him? Neil Mape's in there, Billy Sharp, Gale, Adams, Rodriguez, Bowen, McBurney's in there, and Graben is in there in the top 10. As for the assists, Panorama is the main man, 14 assists. Buenda's in there with 12. Hernandez from Leeds is in there with 12. Grzycki with 12. And Joe Lolly's in there with 11. Now let's take a look at the form books. This is where it gets interesting, folks. In the overall form books of the last 6 games, Swansea are sitting 3rd, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Rovers are in 4th with 4 wins and 2 defeats. Most recently, their defeat against Norwich, and the other defeat going all the way back. I can't think. Sheffield Wednesday, Villa, something like that. Anyway, so we're hot to trot. As for Rovers, home form is not the greatest. Played 6 of the last 6, won 3, lost 3, so 9 points. However, we did win 3 of those last 4 games. As for Swansea's away form, that is not great. 1 win, 5 defeats. So we should be favourites going into this, no matter what the table says. Anyway, let's take a look at those last 5 home games for Rovers. It was against Bolton, Derby. It was Stoke the last time we lost at home. We did beat Wigan as well. We did lose to Preston and Middlesbrough. So when we do lose, it's just by the 1 goal. As for Swansea's last 5 away games, they did beat Ipswich last time out, but they did lose to QPR, Forest, West Brom, Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday. So yeah, we should fancy our chances at home against these boys. Now, the last 4 games between the two sides in all competitions have been a bit, well, they've been very even. Obviously, Swansea winning last time out at the Liberty 3-1 early in the season in a very, very dominant display. They actually ripped us a new one. I think we took the lead in that game, and then it was 3 unresolved goals, if you know what I mean. They scored 3 against us without any reply. But before that, obviously, it was the FA Cup win for Rovers at Ewood. You go all the way back to 2012 when both teams win the Premier League. Swansea beating us 3-0 at their place, and also in that same season we did beat them 4-2. So it's one of those that we win them, they win them, kind of even Stevens. And in fact, according to my only records, these are the last 2 the 2 times that they played at Ewood Park. So that is wrong. But realistically, according to my stats, we've yet to lose or yet to not win this game at Ewood Park. But anyway, quick look at some characteristics and strengths and weaknesses for both two sides. If you want to take a look at this in a bit more detail, just pause the screen. Aerial duels is a weakness for Swansea. As for Rovers, anything. Just pepper us with a few shots in your score and we'll crumble. That's our strengths and weaknesses. Anyway, so that's, in a nutshell, our season will come to a close at the end of this game. And I am hoping, I actually predicted 11th place finish. That is unachievable for Rovers. They're very ambitious in my eyes, 11th place. But we could technically finish in 12th, which would be a great achievement. So obviously we'd have to bank on some other results going our way for that to happen. But all in all, it's been an okay season. Great start to the season, shitty middle, and a pretty strong end. So if we can eliminate or alleviate that shitty middle next season, strengthen the team, bring in some foreign imports, some bargain basement buys, some lower league gems, you never know. We might be able to do a Norwich Sheffield United this season. It was very ambitious of us to be even in the consideration for playoffs this season. So let's give our head a wobble a little bit, dust ourselves down, recuperate, rest, and all that kind of jazz. Come back refreshed. Maybe have a bit of a boot camp summer, something like that. Just knuckle down and gaffer. Less of the old rich tea dunkage and the old cups of tea. Just focus on maybe sticking them up the old Nepalese mountains and something like that for a couple of weeks and see who comes out on top. Over the years, a number of players have played for both Blackburn Rovers and Swansea City. Here's a 3 crackers for you. How about this? Beautiful man. That's right, Chris Coleman. He did don the old whites for Swansea City way back when. He also donned the old blue and white halves for Rovers. Did he manage Swansea later on in his career? I'm not too sure. Answers on a postcard. How about this guy? Jordi Gomez. That's right. We had him in his back end of his career. I think he's still knocking about somewhere. But he made his name in English football, I think, at Swansea City. So yeah, he had a loan spell with us, and he was quite popular with some of the fans. But I'm hoping Mowbray goes for more youthful foreign imports than veterans. How about this guy? We could see him, and we probably will see him. Matt Grimes. I think he's been recently crowned Player of the Year for Swansea. He was also here on loan. I don't know where he was. Was he on loan from Leeds or from Swansea, maybe? I don't know. But he came. He didn't do too much for us. He was kind of a bit part player in that season that he was with us. I think it was not the greatest season, if my memory serves me correctly. But if you want to check out a full list of all the players that have played for both all the players that I know that have played for both Blackburn Rovers and Swansea City, head over to my WordPress site. Details to that sucker in the old description below. Now you've heard a little bit what I'm about to say about the match. Now what you really want to hear is what Cass the Cat's got up her sleeve. She's been busy predicting the games for Rovers the entire season. She got a lot of them right, got a lot of them wrong. But will she end it with a bang? And hopefully Rovers will too. So let's take a look at what she thinks will happen at Ewood Park between Rovers and Swansea. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related. We're going to all here. under one roof. And while I still have you, check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and now I am on Patreon, boys and girls. So if you want to check that out, there are 3 tiers of support you can offer me over on the old Patreon channel or page or whatever they call it, a platform. 3 tiers off. Each tier offers different kind of perks. We have currently a couple of patrons on there, and again, a big wink and a big hat tip to those bad boys out there. They are going to receive their exclusive privileges pretty soon. In fact, I've just recorded. It is May tomorrow, so I've got to get on top of that. So look forward to chatting with those boys in the new season, or well over the pre-season, end of post-season, whatever you want to call it. So it's been a good old season for me here at Blackburn Rovers. Season has been a very, very strong 12 months, I'd say, for the channel. We have grown tremendously. I think at the start of the season, in fact, let's not say this, the end of last season, I was about 1,500 subscribers, something like that, and now look at the funky numbers up there. It's knocking on 9,500. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get that sorted, and hopefully in the next month or so we can get over the line with 10,000 subscribers. That would be absolutely crazy. So this is going to be the last preview for the season, but we will be back in ultra high definition next season. I've got lots of plans for the channel. I will hopefully talk more about that in a channel update in the next few weeks, so stand by for that. But anyway, until then, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a thumbs up. If you're new, smash a subscribe. Back tomorrow or some other day with some more content. It's forever videos, forever raining videos here at Blackburn Rovers. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.